Right now at 5:30, slammed by snow.
They have to come downtown, maybe do a little bit of shopping.
Mother Nature dishes up a dose of trouble.
The average accident is usually about $3,500.
And a wild ride to remember.
I like sledding because it's fun. We can slide down and just go fast.
Plus, water woes explained.
Some of them were inaccurate, but it wasn't a systematic inaccuracy.
A long-awaited audit of the city's water troubles is out. We dive deep into the results. The MTN News starts right now.
From Montana's news leader, this is the MTN 530 News.
Well, good evening and thanks for starting your week with us. I'm Russ Riesinger. From below zero temperatures to several feet of snow in the mountains, winter delivering an uppercut to much of Montana today. Most schools across the region were closed, but the weather did keep some businesses quite busy today, from snow removal companies to plumbers to auto body shops. Phones were ringing off the hook because of problems posed by the storm. Marcus Kakova begins our team coverage with a couple of downtown businesses that actually welcomed this snowy Monday.
It's snowing pretty heavily in downtown Billings, and so much so that you can pretty much walk in the middle of the street without anybody driving by. It's keeping a lot of people inside, and for downtown businesses, that's not exactly ideal.
Yes, everybody's calling it a snow day, except, well, us small businesses, we're still here.
Snow's at the heart of downtown's Valentine's giveaway, a collaboration of 30 local businesses meant to draw crowds despite the cold.
The giveaway itself is not an online giveaway, a little different than we're all used to, right?
This way they have to come downtown, maybe do a little bit of shopping, and look around and see what downtown has to offer.
Jody Brockle, who spearheaded the in-person only raffle, says when the snow piles up, business chills to a halt. But just down the street,
it's warm, it's cozy, everybody wants to hunker down with their wool.
The Yarn Bar says it sees more customers in days of snow.
You're working on a blanket and it's snowing, there's probably nothing better in life than sitting and having something warm on your lap while you're making it.
Whether you go out or stay in, I think we can all agree. I hate snow for one reason, and it's driving.
We have seen a lot of major accidents, of course, with this kind of weather too. But yeah, I mean, sliding through intersections, we see a lot of that this time of year.
Yarn Bar isn't the only place with more traffic. And at Trackside Auto Body, staff get some pretty spiffy snow attire when things get busy.
So essentially this suit is what protects you from all the paint. You don't want that getting on your skin.
Despite the driving difficulty, they say Montana's beauty outshines its complications, something folks are fond of.
The great part about Montana is you actually get to enjoy all four of the seasons. And I think the people that are in Montana, they want to see all four seasons.
Marcus Kakova, MTN News.
The snow continues to fall here in Billings, and fortunately, all of the city's major roads have been plowed. What will take more time are the residential neighborhoods like this one. I'm on Lewis Avenue, where you can see the snow is up to my ankle. But this area will be the first residential neighborhood to be plowed this go around.
If you look at this map, the city will start in Zone 2 and plow through Zones 3 through 6, and crews will finish up in Zone 1. There's no timetable as to when all of the streets will be plowed, but many residents were still out Monday shoveling their own driveways, including Raven White, who says she was satisfied with the city's plowing operations last snowfall.
For the most part, the main streets were plowed very well, and it didn't take them long to pick up the plowing remnants.
And this time in Zone 2, her street will be one of the first. But White did say that she would like to be notified by the city so she can move her vehicle beforehand.
A lot of cars get plowed in, and the place that we actually need plowed doesn't get plowed because this is how we park over here, unless we park a ways away. So if they could break it down maybe a little bit more.
Either way, she knows the snow shows no signs of slowing down.
And if you're going to be outside shoveling your driveway, just make sure you bundle up. In Billings, I'm Isabel Sparks with MTN News.
Billings far from the only area to get knocked back by this winter storm. Reed Point saw snow-covered roads and low visibility this morning. Well, Eddie's Corner looking more like a skating rink. Cook City, as expected, getting hammered by the storm with snow covering nearly everything in that town. But the foot of fresh powder seemingly welcomed by skiers in Red Lodge today, and that snow was still coming down this afternoon. Finally, to the east in Miles City, a little less snow over there, as you can still see many of the sidewalks on Main Street. It's not done yet, though, with the very latest on this system, what we can expect moving forward. Here's meteorologist Jason Stiff.
Healthy amounts of snow around Montana and Wyoming for Billings. About 34 straight hours of snow thus far, and we're not quite done yet. As we zoom into our radar, you can see still a good swath of snow from around Livingston and Big Timber eastward all the way past Cardin and Custer as well, all the way toward Forsyth. A little bit less active weather now in far northern Wyoming and southeastern Montana, but this entire mass of snow is slowly but surely lifting northward and westward. We've done really well in Billings. It wasn't a very warm day, though. The high today was at 12:01, right after midnight, and it was 3 degrees. Had a low just before 9:30 this morning at 5 degrees below zero, but 2 straight days with record amounts of snow. Yesterday, 3.8 inches of snow for the Billings Airport. Today, another 4 inches, so 7.8 inches. And we're only 3 days into February. We're not quite done with this snow, but I'll let you know how much more we expect coming up in your complete forecast.
While all this snow can lead to treacherous conditions, also meant some fun for those willing to get out and play in it. Take a look at this. With no school today, many kids hit the hills to enjoy the day off with some sledding. Despite the cold, those who braved it say it was well worth it on this snowy Monday.
Sledding! Best activity on snow days is sledding or just playing in the snow. Might as well not sit on our butt. I like sledding because it's fun. We can like slide down and just go fast. It's just fun. Hanging out with the friends. It's really fun.
As of now, students are expected to return back to the classrooms tomorrow with school scheduled to be in session. The long-awaited results from the city's water audit are in, and simply put, the audit reveals no errors when it comes to those high bills. That news leaving some residents flabbergasted with more questions than answers. As our Charlie Kleps reports, while the Public Works Department regrets the way the new software was rolled out, they stand behind their work and the data.
In my hands are nearly 60 pages of findings set to be discussed by City Council tonight in the brand new City Hall building. That meeting kicked off shortly ago. The key findings of this audit: there aren't any issues with the billing, with no systemic issues identified. After months of questions, finally there are answers.
There were initially thousands of exceptions.
The city Monday released the results of a long-awaited third-party audit of its water billing system.
We know what this has cost us, in credibility and trust.
Among the findings, SL Serco determined metering and billing functions were for the most part accurate. All 76 randomly tested meters showed no instances of overbilling. But that's not to say everyone is buying it.
Something's very wrong, though.
Michael Urich is among the many who still has questions. He's had elevated bills at both his residence and his business.
Frustrating. There was no transparency.
That is one area the city concedes it could do better. The report from SL Serco does acknowledge errors when the city first transitioned to newer software, caused by what it says were, quote, inaccuracies in the initial setup of the new system and human error, driven by a lack of training, system knowledge, and documented procedures. 15,000 of around 40,000 bills initially had errors.
In every occurrence, those bills were righted by the city.
Those issues, the report says, were addressed before bills were actually sent out, with the city deciding to delay sending out statements. But because of that, some customers received statements with 3 months worth of charges, leading to confusion.
A small increase, like 7%, 8%, not a big deal. But when I get billed for 600%, that's a big discrepancy.
While those discrepancies were quickly addressed, David Allen with SL Serco does say the software changeover could have been handled better by the city.
I think they could have made a stronger decision, found the problem earlier.
City Administrator Chris Kukulski says, in hindsight, a third-party IT company should have been hired to facilitate the process.
We learned the hard way that that's an investment that is a must.
He also says that when 15,000 bills came back incorrect, the city should have hit pause on the software transition until next year. But the question now is, where do we go from here? Some residents have refused to pay their bills. While none have received late penalties or had their water shut off, the city has to move forward.
We will work with those customers on payment plans. Our goal is absolutely not to shut anybody off, so it's to work with them.
I question that, and I think there'll be a class action.
In Billings, Charlie Kleps, MTN News.